Well, hi everybody, and welcome to another podcast video with Lorne. And as you know, we talk about organizations that are advancing culture, workplaces that are thriving. We give examples of global and local companies that we think not perfectly, but are doing an admirable job of advancing that. And I'm going to take a little bit of a twist on that this morning because some of you may know that we live on a farm here. We primarily grow grapes, but we also have every darn fruit you can think of, from pears to apricots and raspberries. And this morning, my wife Kathleen and I went out to do some raspberry picking. And I was out there for about a half hour, and gosh, I was thinking, God, my back is sore and it's hot, and began thinking about all those people that pick raspberries for a job. And if one of our key principles is to be people first and to be customer obsessed or focused, sort of, but in that order. Our deep belief is that very gratified, contributing, thriving people will look after customers in the best possible way, and ultimately the shareholder. But that's our belief. So I was asking myself, if I own a raspberry farm, commercial one, and I had no machine, there is a marvelous machine that harvests, but let's say this was pre-machine work, what would I do to be people first and customer centered? What would you do to be people first and customer centered? Well, I began thinking about, certainly I'd want to make sure that people were equipped with the right kind of clothing, because not only for sun protection, but raspberry thorns, as you know, are sharp. You get your arms in there all the time and get all scratched up, and getting in the appropriate gloves if they want to use them, and the right kind of hat, because obviously, typically you're picking in the hot sun. And what else would I think about being people first? Because I want these people to be as productive and to thrive as much as possible. Well, I might have them do it in teams, so it's more fun when you're working with a number of people. At least you're talking as you're mindlessly picking raspberries. I'd also want to make sure that they were hydrated. So I'd probably have hydration stations along the way, in addition maybe to giving them the right kind of holster, so to carry a active hydration bottle. I probably want to give them a little small plastic stool that was easy to carry, that they could transport from the lower branches that they'd want to sit down a little bit easier on their back. Lots of breaks, and then maybe milestone, a certain tonnage pick, that a milestone celebration. Tea wagons roll out on a golf cart, iced tea wagons or lemonade or something like that. And when they got back to their station, there'd be a couple of massage chairs that they could use, that might be helpful for somebody who may want it before they ran home. They might want to take. You get the drift. Lots of creative ways to think about being people first in a very difficult job that actually is, relatively speaking, an unsafe job, really, when you think about it, right? It's not something that you'd want to do day in, day out, 8 hours a day. Because it's very hard on a person to do it. So ultimately, of course, they invented a machine. Where I'm going with all this is that, of course, with AI coming along, Goldman Sachs predicts 300 million jobs will be ultimately changed or displaced. Many will be reinvented. But the best organizations out there are actively thinking about using AI in every kind of way. But the first place that they're thinking of using it are places on jobs, essentially, that from a human point of view are redundant, are transactional, perhaps unsafe, perhaps unsavory to do, but necessary to do. So if you can take a machine or a piece of artificial intelligence and to do something that a human doesn't get tremendous gratification from doing, then why not? Why wouldn't you use it? And of course, that's going to change jobs and replace some jobs. The end with that is that a great culture, a thoughtful culture, is thinking about that ahead. They're thinking about those jobs that will be displaced. They're preparing people for that. They're getting them ready to transition out in some sort of way. and they're being very mindful about where they're targeting that particular effort. And so, IBM has been at this for a long time, and they're doing that. But many organizations will embrace it and disconnect it from their culture. They'll think of it as a technology initiative. There'll be too many of those, but some thoughtful, caring organizations will not look at it as a technology play purely. They'll look at it as a cultural strategy as well, supported by technology. And when you do that, then the questions are different, the answers are different, the solutions are different. So at the end of the day, we're picking raspberries, and so if we could make it easier and get all the benefit of those raspberries without having to put people at risk, or in positions that are not particularly gratifying, then let's find a way to do it. We have other issues, of course, around wealth, and make sure that what we do about that because people need to have a purpose and to contribute and to, frankly, earn money. That's a complementary question, but just strategically and tactically inside of an organization, it's a great opportunity to think about, raspberry picking. If we can't replace it, then let's design it so that as much people first as possible. But then let's look to see whether we can replace those jobs through AI, machine learning, or machines, robots or others, because we're worth it. Anyway, thank you, and hope you're going to enjoy some great, delicious raspberries this summer. Great year out here in the west of Canada for them. They're just growing like crazy. And have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.